The salvage bay of Station Keplanine hummed with the usual symphony of welding torches and hydraulic lifts. Corey wiped the grease from his hands onto his already stained coveralls, surveying the wreckage before him. The derelict vessel had been pulled from the Tertius Nebula 3 days ago, a twisted carcass of unknown origin, its hull marked with symbols that predated any known civilization in the galactic archive. Another ghost ship, Mary muttered, climbing down from the upper deck access. Her auburn hair was tied back in a practical bun, and her engineering scanner blinked rhythmically against her hip. Fifth one this quarter. Command's getting nervous. Corey nodded absently, his attention fixed on an anomalous energy signature emanating from the ship's core. This one's different. Look at these readings, the power source is still active after what must be thousands of years. Mary crouched beside him, her green eyes narrowing as she examined the data scrolling across his handheld display. That's impossible. Even quantum batteries degrade. Nothing maintains coherence that long, exactly. Corey's voice carried that particular tone. Mary had learned to recognize over their 5 years working together. The one that meant he was about to do something reckless in the name of discovery. They worked in tandem, cutting through layers of crystallized metal alloy that conventional scanners couldn't penetrate. The deeper they went, the stranger the architecture became. The corridors seemed to fold in on themselves in ways that violated Euclidean geometry, creating impossible angles that made Mary's stomach churn. Corey, we should report this, she said, though her hands continued working. Scientific curiosity was a disease they both shared. After we know what we're reporting, he replied. 3 hours later, they breached the central chamber. The room beyond defied description, a spherical space that seemed simultaneously vast and intimate, its walls pulsing with bioluminescent patterns that shifted through colors the human eye shouldn't perceive. At its center floated a crystalline structure, no larger than a human heart, suspended in a field of what appeared to be solidified space-time. Oh my God, Mary whispered. Her scanner was screaming warnings, the readings so far beyond normal parameters that the device simply displayed error messages. Corey approached slowly, his hand outstretched. The moment his fingers brushed the crystal's surface, the universe exploded into information. Images flooded his consciousness, not just visual data, but pure understanding. He saw the rise and fall of civilizations across 1 million galaxies. He witnessed the birth of stars and the heat death of entire universal epoch. But more than history, he glimpsed the fundamental architecture of reality itself. The crystal was a keynote more than a key. It was a map and a tool, left behind by the architects. Beings who had transcended physical existence, eons before humanity's ancestors crawled from primordial oceans. They had discovered the truth that modern physics only theorized. Reality wasn't fixed. It was programmable. The universe operated on underlying code, mathematical principles that could be rewritten by those who understood the syntax. The architects had scattered these crystals across the cosmos, hidden inside vessels designed to drift through space and time until they found species ready for the knowledge. Civilizations that had reached the technological threshold but not yet destroyed themselves through that very technology. Humanity was being tested. Corey, Mary's voice pulled him back. He realized he'd been standing frozen for what felt like hours, though only seconds had passed. Tears streamed down his face. It's all fake, he said hoarsely. Not for Mary, the laws of physics aren't laws. They're suggestions. With this, we could rewrite causality, eliminate entropy, make scarcity obsolete. Mary stared at him, then at the crystal. That's insane. You're saying we could alter reality itself. Not could. We're meant to. Corey's eyes blazed with fervent intensity. But there's a warning embedded in the data. Every species that found these crystals faced a choice: use the knowledge for collective advancement, or let individual ambition fracture their civilization. Most failed. They rewrote reality according to conflicting visions until their entire space-time sectors collapsed into paradox storms. The weight of implications settled over them like a suffocating blanket. This wasn't just a discovery, it was a burden. The knowledge to reshape existence, coupled with the certainty that revealing it could doom humanity. We have to decide, Mary said slowly. Right now, before anyone else knows. Do we tell Command? Do we tell Earth? Corey looked at the crystal, then at his oldest friend. Humanity isn't ready. We can barely govern a single planet without tearing ourselves apart. Give us the ability to rewrite reality, and we'd create 1 billion incompatible universes within a generation. So we destroy it, hide it. No. Corey's jaw set with determination. We study it, carefully, secretly. We decode the architect's lessons, understand why other species failed. Maybe in a generation, maybe in 10, humanity will be ready. Until then, we become the guardians. Mary considered this, her analytical mind running through scenarios and probabilities. Finally, she nodded. We'll need help. People we can trust, absolutely. A shadow organization dedicated to preparing humanity for this responsibility. And if we fail, if someone discovers what we're hiding, Mary's expression hardened with resolve, then we make sure the crystal is destroyed before it can be misused, even if it costs us everything. They stood together in that impossible room, two ordinary engineers who had stumbled into an extraordinary destiny. The crystal pulsed gently, patient and eternal, waiting for the day when humanity would be ready to claim its inheritance. Outside, the station continued its mundane operations, unaware that the future of the entire species had just pivoted on a decision made in a salvage bay. Corey carefully sealed the chamber, encoding it with quantum locks that would take decades to crack. As they walked back through the twisted corridors, Mary spoke quietly. We just changed everything. No, Corey replied. We just ensured humanity gets the chance to change everything when we're worthy of the privilege. The derelict ship was officially classified as a navigational hazard and scheduled for deep space disposal. Its secrets remained hidden, protected by two people who understood that the greatest discovery in human history was also potentially its last dot, and in the darkness between stars, other crystals drifted silently, waiting for their own discoveries, their own tests of worthiness. The universe was patient, it had all the time in the world.